Jacksonville sports on Jacksonville Sports Station 1010XL 92.5 FM. WJXL AM and FM. Jacksonville Beach. This is 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes, is presented by Underwood Jewelers and American Window Products on 1010XL. Now your hosts,
Lauren Brooks,
Donna Murphy, and Blythe Brumley.
Well, ladies, we've made it to July. That means football season is almost here.
68 days to be exact.
68 days.
68 days until the Jaguars' first regular season game.
This is the time of year where it's so fun to talk about the Jaguars and football in general because there's honestly right now nothing negative to talk about, which is a great thing when it comes to your hometown team. No negative stories. Some other teams have had those in the last couple of weeks, but none so far for Jacksonville. So let's kick it off with a little Jaguars discussion. Well, I heard about this a couple weeks ago, and then you said that someone sent to you the fact that the Jaguars were ranked the 4th worst fan base in all of the NFL, and surprisingly declined since a year ago, which seems impossible considering you went from 3 wins to 10 wins and almost won the AFC title game. That's how I say it, not lost, but almost won. The 3 different measures, a calculation, fan equity, a calculation of how much fans spend, social equity, a calculation of social online engagement by fans, and road equity, I find this term hilarious, the team's turnout for road games. Those all declined from a year ago. How do you see this?
I think it's kind of a crock of, I would say something else, but I'm not going to say it. But it was done by this podcaster and professor at Emory University. Emory University, Mike Lewis, and he conducted this study. And he's done this study for a few years now. And I know what he's trying to do. He says in a study that he's trying to take the emotion out of determining the best fans in the NFL. But how do you quantify the best fans in the NFL? And he attempts to do so by measuring season ticket sales, revenue as far as the team's revenue that they generate as far as food and concessions are concerned, and then road game tickets, and then social media engagement, which I find odd, just because social media has been around for less than a decade. So how do you quantify that over years of time? And years of data, and how do you also compare different fan bases in different markets that have completely different circumstances versus, say that a team in Florida? How do you possibly compare a team in Florida that has a bunch of different distractions, a bunch of things where people can spend their money every single day, even during football season, versus a town like Green Bay when it gets cold and when it's up north, that's really all you have is football. So I don't know that you can ever quantify who is the best or / the worst fans in the NFL. And so I just found it just
we know
odd.
The worst fans are the Bills fans, first and foremost, after they came to Jacksonville. But no, I think as far as the social media part, the part that I was confused by is how exactly are you determining engagement? Is it every single time someone uses the term Jaguars, or is it simply looking at the Jaguars official Twitter and then comparing how many followers it has versus other?
Conveniently, he doesn't go into those details because you don't know if, you can measure engagement as far as, every tweet that's sent out. How many likes do you get? How many retweets do you get? How many replies do you get? You can measure engagement that way, but if it's a small market, it's going to always have lower numbers. And Jacksonville, I think, is still the second or third smallest market in the entire league. So, of course, they're always going to have low numbers in that regard compared to, obviously the top tier teams, which are the Patriots and the Cowboys. And he's sort of, this Mike Lewis guy, he goes into a little bit and he says that as far as the Jaguars are concerned, that, oh yeah, you can get better at this. The good news is that for teams like the Jags and the Chiefs, which was really surprising that they were super low on this list too. I think they were 27th or 28th on this list. But he said that on the field success is the best way to create brand equity and fan loyalty. The bad news is that it takes a good amount of success to move the needle long term.
I mean, I was more surprised with who they have at the bottom, obviously, because the top, you're not really going to question that.
Yeah.
But with the bottom, you're going to tell me that the brand new LA Rams, with that young, hot team, that they plummeted last year, that they were one of the bottom of the fan bases? Why are the Chargers not in the bottom? Nobody goes to the Chargers.
They're 27th or something.
Right, but they're not in the bottom 5. You're telling me that Kansas City, Jacksonville, and the Rams are worse than the Chargers, are worse than the Dolphins, who can't even get 500 people at a stadium?
The Chiefs were really surprising to me because I've heard that tailgating culture and the game day environment in Kansas City is one of the best in the NFL,
and
if not the best.
the stadium's so loud at
Right.
Yeah.
It rivals the Seahawks.
Truth be told, if you were to evaluate me personally, right, and you said, Lauren, how big of a Jaguars fan are you, right? Well, I would say, I spend a lot of time every week preparing shows, and even, let's take the work part out of it, I would spend a lot of time preparing tailgates and going to games and have a lot of merchandise. But I'm probably not going to attend a lot of road games. That just doesn't fit into my schedule and my life. So I don't think that the road games can necessarily be one of these three measurables, because you're going to have teams that have existed for way longer than the Jaguars and, say, the Panthers. And those teams have fans, quote-unquote fans, right, in multiple different cities. And I say quote-unquote because it may be a little bit different than a fan who's going to the games every single week. They live in another city, and then the one time that their team comes to that city, they're going to go. So they may not necessarily be traveling to their home stadium.
And I wonder what the travel ratio is for fans that are coming down south versus fans that are going up north. Like, Florida is a vacation destination. Why would we go anywhere else to watch a football game when we have, I would say probably 80% of the time, maybe 70% of the time, we have perfect weather at football games.
Right. But the fan
equity,
equity,
a little warm. Well, we can handle that.
That's where the 30% comes in.
Yeah. The fan equity is also questionable, especially with the Jags, because how much fans spend. Well, these are the cheapest tickets around, so they're not looking like they're spending as much because they're so cheap.
And they let people take concessions. They let people take food and water inside the concession or
and also, if it's 90 degrees, I'm not necessarily wearing a Jaguars jersey, right? Like, I may be wearing a teal and black tank top.
Yeah, we don't need the scarves and the hats.
I'm anti-jersey as it is.
Right, and so I just, regardless of that part of it, I think people in different markets are going to spend more because they want to make sure that their team is represented. And I think for a lot of people I know, they feel like, hey, I'm a Jaguars fan. I don't have to be wearing Jaguars gear. You don't even have to ask me. I was born and raised here. There is no other team. I was here when the team suffered, and I'm here now. So I don't know that in maybe New York you have to pick your apparel because there's two teams there.
Right.
Well, and also I remember years back when the Jaguars were absolutely dreadful, and they were.
I love that word. It reminds me of like a British word.
It's
dreadful.
Well, when we played Chicago, and Chicago fans, it was cheaper for Chicago fans to buy a ticket to the game in Jacksonville, fly here, stay the night, and then fly back than it was to go to a game in Chicago.
Because that's a fan base that has known success for a long time. Right. It's a very big market. And that's the thing. Market sizes, this study almost needs to be compared more percentage-wise than the straight-off equity or straight-off equity. I think it needs to be more, this fan base is spending a percentage of how many people it has. And I don't know that they're necessarily doing that. The measurables just seem a little off to me.
And Green Bay was listed as 9th on this list, and that's where I immediately questioned.
The first one.
I'm like, I was already calling the study into question when I saw Green Bay at 9th. I'm like, they're arguably one of the best game day experiences in the league as long as you go.
I know that it's been rumored, but I'm sure it's proven that you're not given season tickets unless you're gifted those through family.
Yeah, it's a license. I think the Giants are the same way, and no, not the Steelers.
So I'm sorry, but if you have a fan base like that can't even, then they should be.
They got nothing to do up there.
Yeah.
Did it make your blood boil when you read this, similar to back years ago when the Jacksonville held the Super Bowl in 2004 and people said all the bad things?
No, I was much more angrier in those days. I was always defending the team because everybody, all the national media was, Jacksonville's a joke. They're moving to LA. It's just a matter of time. Their fans don't care. Or as the all 5 fans, show up. It's all of that, sort of low hanging fruit. And for one season we did deserve it in 2009 when all but one game was blacked out, but we haven't blacked out a single game since then. And so it's taken a long time to build up that credibility as far as a fan base, and this professor, I think, was trying to be, non-biased, but each team really needs to be measured on an individual scale, and especially on like a curve, because for Browns fans in particular, they didn't win a single game last year. They've been dreadful for how many years, and they're still, I think they were ranked higher than the Jaguars as far as fan sentiment is concerned, or worst fan bases in the country. So I think almost like they deserve more credit because they supported a team through just dreadful zero hope every single year.
All right, when it comes to the 5 players that must play well in order for the Jaguars to make the playoffs, ESPN's Mike DiRocco came up with the list. He's got quarterback Blake Bortles, running back Leonard Fournette, left guard Andrew Norwell, acquired through free agency. On the offensive side of the football, defensively, he's got middle linebacker Myles Jack and cornerback Jalen Ramsey. I want to kind of say King Jalen Ramsey, but at the same time, I kind of don't, because he's still fairly young player. But yeah, so those are the 5 players he came up with. How would you guys make your list?
I think Blake is kind of a given as far as the success of this team sort of rides on his back, or not really rides on his back, just don't screw it up. But we've heard nothing but good things, and this offseason is completely different from all the other off seasons in that Blake has looked really good so far, based off of all the reports. But for me, I'll start. It begins and ends with the O-line, because you can't set up the pass, you can't set up the run unless that O-line is solidified, unless we can stay not injury-free, but be able to, because guys are going to get hurt. We're not going to experience that same sort of luck that we had last year, where the majority of the team was healthy going into the playoffs. And so the health and the strength of that O-line is a big one for me.
I agree. I don't know how you can. I mean, you might be able to put in Myles Jack, since he's somewhat, changing positions. Not really. He's just taking on more of a full load. But it's all about the offense. And I mean, it should just be the one person that needs to play well is what it should be. And we all know that's Bortles. Because you can't name a wide receiver if you can't throw to him. So for me, it's him. And I agree, Andrew Norwell, as long as he blocks and sets up that hole for Fournette to go through. But for me, it's just it's the one person that needs to play well.
See, the Jaguars' running game last year was very good without Andrew Norwell. So I think he's a great addition, but I don't think he's make or break for this season. So I actually would throw in a wide receiver, and you can pick your wide receiver as to be who you think is going to have the most catches, but let's just throw out the free agent wide receiver Dante Moncrief from the Colts. If he gets on the same page with Blake from day one and he can create more space for running back Leonard Fournette, you're talking about an entirely different offensive plan for offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett. Last year, they knew they had to scheme a lot for Fournette to go up against 8-man boxes. But if Moncrief, and it's really probably going to be more than just him, but if they all can get open, or if Blake can throw them open, I think you're talking about an entirely different approach for the offensive line and Leonard Fournette, but mainly Fournette. And then when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, Jalen Ramsey is obviously one of the best players on the football team, if not the best. I think Calais Campbell, Jalen Ramsey are neck and neck. But if you're going to take him out of it because he's got another excellent cornerback next to him in A.J. Boye, then I think you could put a pass rusher in there. So whether it be Calais Campbell, Yannick Ngakoue, or Dante Fowler Jr., if you don't get pass rush, I'm sorry, you can have the best tandem of cornerbacks in the league, but Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, they're still going to make those passes. So that's where I think the pass rush has to be in the top 5 most important players.
I would definitely argue Calais Campbell too, just because of that veteran leadership. You lost Paz to retirement this offseason, and that defense is still very young, and they're still very emotional too. So you need a veteran leader with that sort of soft command that Calais Campbell has.
And that's where you almost could throw in, honestly, Austin Seferian-Jenkins, the tight end, because you lost the veteran leadership on the offensive side of the football with Mercedes Lewis and his excellent blocking skills. So Seferian-Jenkins is going to be tasked with both being a good pass catcher and move tight end, and also being a blocking tight end. So you could throw him in there too.
Lee too. Lee to me, he's the veteran wide receiver of that group now, as far as tenure with the Jaguars, and he's been emotional at times too. And it's going to be up to him to sort of lead this ship and prove that he's the veteran leader that the wide receiver core now needs.
Talking Jaguars in July. How much fun is that? All right, when we come back, we're going to play a little game called Would You Rather. We're also going to talk about best road trips that only take a gas tank and scary situations. That's all next. You listen to Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes on 1010XL.
Soaking in summer on the First Coast.
That's a shock, right? Surprise!
Sorry, Tyler. I thought they had information on the website. They don't, so I have to get it.
Ooh, we got a lot of comments so far. Welcome in, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Yes. I feel like that should be a scale too, as far as Jaguars fan loyalty. If you're showing up during losing seasons, you should almost get more credit than when the team's winning.
Like, I think the Jags and the Browns should be way up there for that.
Right. Jags, Brown. I mean, nobody's
like
ever going to
have more of a fan base than the Dolphins go. Like, no one goes to Miami. They don't go to the Marlins. They don't care.
It's a shitty stadium. There's too much stuff to do in South Florida.
I think the only people that go to a game down there are for the Heat. The Miami Heat. It feels like they're the ones that get the most fans.
Right. And probably not so much anymore with all this NBA news.
Right.
There's only going to be a few teams that can actually contend every single year.
So far, Boston's still won.
I'm a post a link to the study in the chat if you guys are watching. Let me find that link real quick.
So since Ken is out, but
Steve's
I have
door
signature for the client.
Yep. All orders go through Steve's door.
I guess I should have figured that out. And it's not here. But it's not like anyone's going to be here tomorrow anyway.
Are y'all having like best of run tomorrow or like ESPN syndicated?
No, there's a couple. I think SportsStone's doing a show. There's a couple shows.
Live shows?
Mm-hmm. I think Best Bet's doing their show.
Best Bet is
right.
Oh, I don't have the email anymore. Never mind. All right.
Hold on.
Oh, we got a lot of commenters tonight.
Really?
A lot.
Little grandma was funny. She tweeting.
Yeah, she was.
This morning. I remember a football show when she was on, well, the football show. I'm like, yeah. Oh, boy, was that a long time ago.
It was.
I got in to sit in for Tyler when they had a meeting the other day. And I forgot about the 2-minute drill. You know, so I'm sitting there and I'm just getting ready for a normal break, you know, and I'm just, Dempsey, he's so funny. He's like, well, let's check in with Joe Coward, you know, see what's going on midday chalk. And I'm like, I just look at him, I'm like, I go, I'm sorry, I'm new here. I don't know what I'm doing. So they laughed. I was like, sorry, Mose. And didn't remember that part.
What are we talking about?
I will remember it in 2 days.
Okay, Tyler, now I'm ready for that. Oh, let me go get the Dreamfinders. When is the Dreamfinders one?
It was 7:30, but we'll do 7:50.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I'll go get that next then.
So they had Mookie mic'd up the other day.
Yeah.
Did you hear him?
No.
He was talking with Judge. He was telling Judge what he wears. He wears like 4 layers.
What?
Mookie.
To play?
Yeah.
Baseball?
He has 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of leggings, and then he has his uniform, which is all, yeah.
Is he superstitious about it or something?
I don't know.
That's insane.
We just caught the end of the conversation, and I'm like, what?
See, because when I get hot, I have to take everything off. Like jewelry,
Nope.
put my hair,
He
like
wears-
I cannot.
I mean, it's 100 degrees up there right now, and he's wearing all the extra stuff.
That's how I am, and if I'm hot, I also can't look at someone wearing like tight jeans or like
'Cause it makes you
closed-toed shoes. Yeah, because I'm like, I'm having trouble breathing already. Ugh.
Isn't that crazy? I'm like, you look so tiny
I know.
wearing all that. How tiny are you?
Bet he gets even smaller because he's wearing all
Right?
those layers. So he probably has to eat a lot more in order to keep his weight up during the summer. Crazy.
Fun to watch, that's for sure.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
One back.
Thank you.
I'm Cece Underwood of Keller Williams Jacksonville Realty, and I'll sell your home in 60 days or I'll sell it for free. Visit sellingwithcc.com.
Girls just want to talk football. More helmets and heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes.
Presented by Underwood Jewelers and American Window Products.
Now on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Welcome back into Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes. My name is Blythe Brumley. I'm joined alongside Donna Murphy and Lauren Brooks. And it's July 4th tomorrow. Some people are working for the station. We are not. I don't think any of us are. But kids are out of school. You know, parents are probably drinking a little more because kids are out of school. They're looking forward to school coming back. But you really only have about a month until football season starts and kids are back in school. So this is like crunch time, I feel like, for vacations. So I went to Jenny Springs over the weekend, and it got me thinking, you know, what is the best place that you can drive to on one tank of gas? Because gas prices are going up. I experienced that over the weekend.
I mean, husband and I haven't traveled on one tank of gas to go on a vacation anywhere, really.
Do you drive or fly, mostly?
When we go on a vacation, which was a few years ago, we drove, but to Tennessee, so it wasn't on one tank of gas.
Goodness.
But we drive to my parents, and that to me is vacation, because that's down to Daytona, and they're babysitting, or the pool that they have is babysitting, and we get to relax. We have date night. So that to me is our one tank of gas freedom.
Yeah, that's definitely a one tank of gas trip.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's not even a half a gang.
I will say scalloping. And you can get to multiple different places throughout Florida to go scalloping, all with one tank of gas. The place where I've been most is if you go from Jacksonville to Keaton Beach, easily one tank of gas there and back. And it is by far my favorite place I've ever been. When I was really little, my parents would take us pretty far, like 5 and 6 hours away, to a place called Mexico City, which is still in Florida. And then eventually they heard about Steenhatchee, which a lot of people have been to.
That's where I've been.
And then Keaton Beach is just a little bit farther south of Steenhatchee. And it's not, I wouldn't even say Steenhatchee's touristy. I mean, we're talking about like fishing village towns.
Yeah, they have one bar. That's it.
And Keaton Beach has no bars, but they're very close to Steenhatchee, so it's a little bit kind of more relaxed, and there's a lot more places for your boat to be on the water. But scalloping is by far the most relaxing thing to do, where you're also working to catch your dinner. Like fishing, I love fishing. But fishing, you're working at it, right? Like you're baiting your hook. You have to find your bait to begin with, unless you buy it at the store. And then if you catch the fish, you have to take the fish off the hook. That's not really my specialty. As soon as I catch a fish, I point my pole and my rod to someone and I say, okay, this is your turn now. Long story short, scalloping is so easy.
Yes.
You're snorkeling, you see the scallops either lying in the grass or trying to get away from you. You easily grab them, you put them in your bag. I have friends who I've taken who had never been before. They caught a whole bag of scallops. It's so incredibly easy. And then you can either clean them yourself that night.
So that's the only part.
My friends love to clean them. And,
dang.
And I've always, like growing up, my parents always, we had a plan where we would catch enough that we would drop some off to get cleaned from the people that live there, and then we'd clean a small amount. And by we, I mean my parents would clean them. But at the time, I also didn't eat scallops, so I was a great hunter and gatherer, and then they got to benefit from the scallops. And then as I've gotten older, I've learned, like, cleaning them's really not that bad. It's kind of like shucking an oyster, Donna. Once you crack the shell open, you just kind of scrape it, and if you're listening to music and talking and hanging out, it takes a little while, but it's not so bad. But by far, scalloping is my favorite thing. I can't wait. I'm going in a couple weeks, and I'm super competitive at it, but so is my dad, so we always have a battle as to who's going to get the most scallops.
There's another...
But Jenny Springs would be very high on my list, so I'm glad you recommended that.
Well, they don't have scallops there, so
No.
unfortunately. It's definitely a spot where you can... It's a little crazy on holiday weekends, as I've discovered. I've been on Memorial Day weekend, and I guess technically this weekend was their July 4th celebration, so they had actually left before they did fireworks and all that because I was just over camping. But I can only do really, like, maybe like a day and a half of camping, and then I'm ready to come back, just because it's not you're sleeping on an air mattress. You end up sleeping like a taco by the end of the night because you're folded up in the air mattress. And
a lot of people don't even use air mattresses; they just sleep in sleeping bags.
That's stupid. Well, not stupid. More power to you if you camp in that way. I'm a indoor plumbing and AC kind of girl, so I prefer to have those options. I don't
an RV.
Yeah, some of the people that we always go to Jenny with, they have a camper, so they always bring their camper, and they make fun of me because like I have an SUV, so I fold down the seat and put my air mattress in there and just turn my car on, and that way I do have AC and I can sleep at night. And so they make fun of me because I sleep in my car, and I'm like, well, you have this giant camper with like a bathroom and a kitchen, like how can you possibly talk down on me for taking this route? One day I will have a camper and all that, sort of what they call glamping. Yeah. I would like to do glamping. I kind of already do a little bit of a version of it now, but there is another scalloping spot that is technically on one tank of gas, but it's called Homosassa. And it's closer to Tampa, and I've heard it's like Jenny meets Fort George with a splash of like Steenhatchee. So there's a place where like you can go and you can like dock your boat, kind of like Fort George Island, where everybody just goes to one place and they all kind of party together. Or you can float down the river, or you can go scalloping. So that's one spot that I would like to hit up.
We went to Weeki Wachee last year, Labor Day weekend, for scalloping, and it not necessarily quite like that, but so Keaton Beach basically. You have your boat and you are out to a scalloping spot within about 5 to 10 minutes. Super easy. Weeki Wachee is very different. At least the place where we stayed was on a canal. And then that is a river that gets you to the mouth of the ocean, or the bay, I guess there. But the river is filled with not just manatees, but also people that are kayaking or paddleboarding. So you're trying to navigate your boat through all these people. And so while it's fun and you feel like you're a part of like #river life, all those people that they saw Salt Life and then they wanted to go the other way and they said river life. It's fun, but at the same time, it takes a long time. So when weather comes, which often happens in Florida this time of year, you still have to go very slowly through this river. But it is really fun, and you see people kind of hanging out at all these houses along the river. Like it's a good experience, but it's just very different. Like for me, scalloping, I want to hit it and get it, and I want to be able to get back if a storm rolls. So
sort of a side note that might scare a lot of people away with what I'm about to say, but did you guys hear about that 15-year-old girl who was like stuck in a tree because a gator was chasing her?
Yeah.
She was floating on a raft down a river, and a gator saw her, started chasing her, and she climbed up into a tree, and her mother had to call 911. And when her mother called 911, the 911 operator said, 911, can you please hold? And she's like, no, I can't hold. My daughter is about to get attacked by gators.
I feel like I would have gone to the freezer and thrown all the meat that I have at the gator while trying to get my daughter down from the
apparently
tree.
A cop showed up, and the gator started to come towards the cop. And the cop was like, nah, and he put a bullet in him. And I was like, that's reassuring.
So they killed the gator with a bullet?
Yeah.
It
sure did. You want to chase a little girl, that's what happens.
I just didn't know if one single bullet could kill an alligator.
If you probably hit him in the right spot on top of the head. That's where they tell you to. At least that's what my gator hunting uncle tells me.
By the way, when you mentioned the game Would You Rather, we had some friends over this past weekend and they're getting married, and I'm hosting the bridal shower, and we're going to play a game called Would She Rather. And I can say this because they're all at dinner right now, so none of them are listening. And it was such a fun game because first I had to figure out the answers to my friend's questions. Then we tested her fiance, and I was kind of annoyed. He did better than I did. And then we played with Brian and I, and we did not do nearly as good as they did. So that's why they're getting married and we're not. But anyway, I'm excited to play Would You Rather.
Well, it brings up our next topic because it was a trending topic on Reddit yesterday, and it said list your favorite Would You Rather question. And if you've never played Would You Rather, it's basically you give a scenario. It's either one option or the second option. You can't pick neither, and you can't pick both. And so the top responses, I thought it would be fun for us to sort of answer a few of these. And the first one that comes to mind is, would you rather be able to eat anything you want and have it be perfect nutrition, or would you rather sleep 1 hour a day and be fully rested?
See, by perfect nutrition, do you mean you don't gain weight?
Yes, you can eat whatever you want.
And so then I think I would rather choose that, because then I don't need the 1 hour sleep and have my day, because I would spend all that extra time working out, eating whatever I wanted. So I would choose the eat whatever I want and still not gain an ounce.
Yeah, not even close to
Yeah.
whatever you want. I guess I'm somebody, if I get 5 hours, I'm okay. The one thing I will say is if you ask a newborn mom this question, she probably would go with the 1 hour of sleep as the answer.
Nope. Still eat whatever you want because you got to lose all that baby weight now.
Yeah, because
so still eat
I'll
whatever
always
you
go
want.
and eat whatever I want because eating, I feel like, affects me way more from, say, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
The sleep, it's like, okay, this is when you sleep. No
And
big deal.
I enjoy eating. Like, I enjoy trying different foods. So
Yeah, I
would
wouldn't say I love sleeping.
No, I love sleeping. But
I like getting enough sleep, but I
Yeah.
don't go, oh my gosh, I love you sleep. Like when I wake up in the middle of the night, I don't go, yes, I get to fall back asleep. Like when you put a delicious meal in front of me, I'm taking pictures. I can't wait to eat it.
Well, I've been traveling a lot as of recently, and there was a moment a few days ago where I rubbed my bed and I said, I'm going to see you soon. Because it had been a while since I had slept in my own bed, or I think it was like 1 or 2 nights a week over the course of like a couple months that I've actually slept in my own bed. So it was a moment for me. But definitely, I would eat whatever I want, and it's not even close. Next one on the list is: would you rather be able to converse with non-human animals or have a lifelong fluency in every human language?
Animals. I would want to talk to animals in a heartbeat. I'm sorry, all us people aren't great, but animals, I'd like to know either A, why do you want to try to eat me, alligator? Or what are my dogs thinking? Because I'll constantly ask, do you need a bone? Do you need to go outside? Do you want to play? Why are you staring at me? So I would want to converse with animals.
I initially thought animals because I want to converse with my dog.
Right.
But then I realized there are a lot of animals who are mistreated. And I don't know that, like...
Oh, Jordan's coming out in you right now.
But speaking with those animals would hurt my heart even more. Like, that's why I don't watch the news, because I don't want to know all the mistreatment that happens
You
in
don't want
the
the
human world.
ASPCA.
And I realize, like, I keep saying I want to learn Spanish, and I'm going to commit myself to that. And so I think I'll go with all languages.
I would definitely do all languages. There's no
Man,
chance.
I'm the only animal one here. I think it would be so cool to go to the zoo and be like, "What up, giraffe? What's new?"
Yeah, but then you
Kelly,
gotta.
how would you vote this, since you're an animal lover also?
I am cool with the animal interaction I have now, so I don't want to talk to them. What was the other option?
Or you can speak every language fluently for the rest of your
I
life.
don't think I want that either.
But you know how much more money we
I'd
could
probably
make?
choose the spoken language. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
if we
that's part of the
speak
rules. You
every
can't put
language, we
neither.
could broadcast our show or anything you needed to broadcast in any language. You'd be very well.
That's fine. Then I'll tell you what any animal.
But then you're like, you're sitting at your desk and like a random bird flies by or something. You got to listen to what they got to say. No.
Wouldn't
No
you?
thank
You love Disney. Wouldn't you want to be like Snow White or Cinderella and be like, "Yeah,
No.
mouse, come help me sew"?
No. Mm-mm. No, I definitely. World travel is a big goal of mine, especially in the coming years. And I would want to go. I would want to be able to have a fluent conversation with the people that learn their culture, their history, their everything. To be able to speak a language fluently, I think that would be your biggest hurdle in order if you're traveling to other countries.
I can't believe I'm
I'm
the
telling
only
you,
one in
I
this
thought
room.
long and hard about it. But I'm also reading a book right now called A Dog's Purpose. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard the movie.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
the same. It originated from a book,
Yeah.
and you're inside of a dog's head. And I'm telling you, that's why I'm like, I don't necessarily want to know all the bad things that happen.
All right, a couple quick more Jurassic Park or Ghostbusters in real life.
Ghostbusters.
Really,
For
Jurassic
sure.
Park for me.
They could kill you, man.
Yeah, but Jurassic Park, you have all these movies that tell you how to defeat them. If it's a
you
T-Rex,
can't beat a T-Rex.
yeah, you can just don't move.
No.
What did Jeff Goldblum tell you? Don't move.
There is, that or in Jurassic World, splash gasoline on you. I get it, but still, no. A ghost can't kill me. A ghost could scare me, but it is already dead.
And
So I'm
Ghostbusters,
going
they're all
ghost.
them ghosts are killing people. They're sliming them.
Well, that's
Yeah, the
so-
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. You got them giant statue dogs
going-
that are coming after you.
I'm
Zool.
I'm going with Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Jurassic Park way more than I've seen Ghostbusters, so I don't remember all the scary things from Ghostbusters other than that painting guy.
Yeah.
That Zool.
Yeah. Zool.
Yeah. Anyway, that guy
yeah.
was scary with the man.
The
bun
painting
before
man.
buns were in.
Yeah. That was the painting man, and then I think the chick.
Or
No, they were
something
both.
weird.
I don't know.
But
I can't
either
remember.
way, that's far less scary than the dinosaurs.
see,
As
Jurassic
much
Park-
as I'd love to see the dinosaurs, I only want to see the Brontosaurus. That's it. No velociraptors for me.
The brontosaurus.
No, but
Sneeze right in your face.
as long as you're the dominant one, like Chris Pratt tells us in Jurassic Park, I feel like I have a slew of evidence that could help me as far as Jurassic Park is concerned.
All right, when we come back, we're going to get to love, true love, but I'm going to think of that as wov, true love, as spoken in The Princess Bride. That's all coming up next to us in the Helmets and Heels built by Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL. Lauren City here for Bold City Health. A few weeks ago, I started experiencing a lot of neck pain to the point where I was so uncomfortable that I would wake up every hour. Then, thanks to a good friend, I was referred to Bold City Health. I had never been to a chiropractor before, so truth be told, I was a little scared about getting adjusted. But one meeting with Dr. Erin at Bold City changed everything. She's so talented and she put me right at ease. I'm already sleeping better. I couldn't be more impressed with their streamlined process and their dedication to each and every patient. Bold City Health is focused on improving your overall health, not just correcting issues. Bold City is located at 8102 Blanding Boulevard, and if you would like more information, check out the 2 upcoming events that they have: the free community dinner at South Kitchen and Spirits on Monday, July 16th, and the awesome Max Mom event for all moms and anyone who works around kids. I am telling you, they are the best people, and you will love Bold City Health. For more information, head to www.boldcity.events or call 458-7095.
More videos, more podcasts.
Oh, that's funny.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Savannah
Vigo.
and Jekyll Island. That's a good one.
Vigo.
Vigo.
I knew it was like a
Vigo.
go.
Yeah. I was like, when we're
Who's
saying
Zool?
I was like, no.
Zool is Sigourney Weaver's character that she turns into. That's what takes over.
That's the first one, and Vigo is the Stay Puft Marshmallow one, right? Because because all the evil energy, the slime that's going through the city, and then they gotta.
I don't
Is
remember.
it? Yeah.
How are you handling?
I'll get them both.
No, I
mixed.
think it's just Slimer. I think the other one has the marshmallow.
But the pink slime underneath the city, not
right.
Slimer.
Yes. The pink slime.
That's like reacts to negative energy or whatever.
Something.
Yeah, he came into Dr.
That's
Steve.
funny.
He had offered to manage
Kinda too, look at us.
players like in the southeast, like Tallahassee.
Yeah.
You know, I might watch this show.
Well, that's awesome for him.
This?
Yeah,
I didn't even know it was a show.
For this show.
It debuts this Sunday, 10 p.m. I heard them talking about it on
I'm like,
Midday
of
Chop.
all of
Really
the NFL athletes, the one that has the least amount of personality is on a show.
Really? I love her.
Yeah. No, not her.
Oh.
Him. Cutler.
Oh, yeah. She's making the show.
Well, sure.
I wonder what it's like being
I
married to
don't-
him.
Well, watch the show.
It's
You'll
like
find out.
talking to a potato.
I know.
That with the clip that they were playing on Midday
Feels
Chop.
like you'd have to pull out. How are you feeling today?
That's probably why she's been married to him for so long. Because he just plays football and he can get out the damn house.
He just doesn't say anything. What's he gonna say?
That Savannah's a good one. Jekyll Island's a really good one. Orlando, you can get there on a tank of gas. Yeah, Savannah's a real. I almost mentioned Savannah because you can get your drinks to go. And they have to-go windows at different bars and restaurants. Like you can walk right up, order a little alcoholic drink, and then walk around downtown Savannah.
Doesn't McClenny have the drive-through barn?
A few places
Right?
do. Yeah.
The drive-through barn.
Is it McClenny? There's also one
Somebody
in
has one.
on Stark too. Stark, Florida
Maybe
has
that's
one.
what I'm thinking.
So I've been in it.
That's funny. The drive-through barn. Well, that's creative.
It's pretty handy too.
I get making the move before football season, but it's also
Let's see. Oh gosh, this is the most comments we've had on a show in a while.
That's good. Hello, peeps.
Oh wow.
Everybody's home on vacation.
Right. Yes, that's it.
I'm trying to find a new job, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, even if I didn't, I've been here almost 5 years. So I think it's time. Give her 5.
Gosh, I trained you that long
Yeah,
ago.
isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
I know, it really does seem like yesterday I was writing everything down.
Yeah. Because for me, I'm like, oh yeah, that was 4 years ago last time I produced. I don't know anything that's going on. But I don't think it's 4
Well, I
years
know
since we
that.
started producing. I'm going to go get my Dream Finder script. I'll be right back.
You're so funny. Been 10 years for me.
Yeah. It's a long time.
When did Helmets and Heels start? 4 years ago or 5?
August 2014.
There you go. 4.
Almost 4. Yeah. We're coming up on 4 years.
Come on, Braves. Do something. So I can't determine.
Julian Edelman.
Tyler, you know this Marlins fan guy?
Yeah.
Charlie's
He
tripping
is,
me out.
I can't
certainly
be.
got
Or
neat.
Shari.
Like, I can't determine whether I
Charlie or
should
Charlie?
like him
No,
or
it's not Charlie. There's no L.
He has likable characteristics. He likes the troops. He's very charitable, but he's also like he wants the attention for giving back to the troops.
Who are you talking about? JJ Watt?
Marlins fan.
Oh.
Marlins fan.
Yeah, Marlins.
I'm not sure we're talking about JJ Watt.
Yeah.
You mentioned the name and you laugh.
Like, because I usually, watching the Sox game, he'll pop up almost every time. Like,
He's got home plate.
why?
Didn't he get his season tickets revoked?
No, he travels. That's all he does.
I heard him on
Marlins?
Marlins Man.
Yeah,
they
he
revoked
had,
his
like, a
season
high-ball
tickets.
offer and he didn't renew. So he just goes to like all the national games everywhere else.
Yeah. Like, he was at the Yankees-Sox game last week. And I saw him. Now I see him here at the Nationals.
He's got too much
Sox.
money.
What does he do?
He was an attorney, apparently. At least that's what someone told
Well,
me.
shit. How
And like, didn't
attorneys
his-
don't make that kind of money?
Well, no, like, I think didn't something happen to all his money? Didn't somebody embezzled?
Mm.
And so then he had to.
Yes. Thank you.
Something. It was
I don't know.
different.
Shari.
Daniel Murphy.
Superior Fancy Rail, where quality matters.
You're listening to Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes
Presented by Underwood Jewelers and American Window Products.
on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Welcome back to Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes. Happy 4th of July, day before. Can you do that?
Yeah, 4th of
4th
July
of July Eve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? So we have some fun topics for you today. Jay Cutler was brought to my attention because I did not know that this was a show or is going to be a show.
This Sunday night.
Him and his reality star wife. I think that's the best way to.
She's also a business owner,
right?
entrepreneur.
Okay.
But yes, she became
Sure.
famous
Yep.
through the reality TV show
Laguna Beach first, and then the Hills.
and then the Hills. Yeah.
No idea because I haven't watched it.
I watched both of those shows religiously.
But now they have a show called Very Cavallari, which I guess is kind of catchy. It's
That's
going to be
cute.
starting July 8th, season premiere. And within it, so you've seen the preview of it, and he apparently picks out the majority of her clothing. Which, someone who I believe watching all these years in the NFL has no personality. I didn't know that he had at all style. So that's news. That's something you
Really good style. I followed her on Instagram for a while, and I follow her strictly for her style.
Well, and I never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
I think he was joking. Like
Right.
once I read through the story,
Right, and he was helping her dress.
yeah,
and
she kind
needed
of
help.
picks stuff out, and then I think she more asks him like which
Oh,
one of these looks
right.
better.
Well, in that case, we all do that, or they
And
all our
What
guys
pairs?
dress this then.
What do you like? Do you like
Yeah.
the sweater with these jeans or
Correct.
the sweater with
and
these?
so then he cracks the
leggings?
joke like, I already pick out 90% of your clothes, and
Right.
and so I think it was more of just kind of a yeah, I'm really involved when I'm not really that involved.
Right.
kind of joke.
Like, I have no personality. What else?
Smoking Jay Cutler is critiquing her outfits and pairing accessories and shoes and purses with an outfit.
Yeah, I don't think he's
know.
doing
I
all
don't know
that.
about all that.
So we all have significant others who I think, and we're all different personalities. So what if they were picking out your outfit? How would you be dressed?
Sneakers, no bra, bright colors. That's it. That's it.
Bright colors.
Bright colors, sneakers, and no bra.
I like how specific it is.
I thought about
know,
this and I was
right?
like, yeah, these are the
That's
only three
awesome.
options. Yeah.
Yep.
I did not get into that much detail, but I would say tank tops, bathing suits, shorts, throw on a hat, and flip-flops. That would probably be that, or a dress and flip-flops or something like that. Like, Brian could care less if hair's done, makeup's done. In fact, he tells me you look better without makeup. Why are you trying that hard? Which obviously I don't try that hard to begin with, so I'm really not trying that hard.
Why are you trying that hard?
Like, if I ever wear lipstick, like if it's like tomorrow, right, 4th of July,
Right.
some of my girlfriends will have on red lipstick
Right.
to go with their festive outfits. If I put lipstick on tomorrow morning, he will be like, "What are you doing?" No,
Really?
we're just
My
hanging out at
dad's
the
like
beach.
that.
Like, that's just not you. And he's right, because I don't wear lipstick on a daily
Right.
basis. I don't wear lipstick to an event, so why would I wear it for the 4th of July? But yeah, it would be very casual, But I will tell you, I would prefer for him to pick out my outfits than me picking out my outfits.
Why?
Because I think the way he dresses is better in comparison to the way I dress.
But he dresses for himself.
Yes, but he color coordinates and he cares and he shops. I mean, he doesn't shop a lot, but he shops. I do the very least I can possibly do, as long as I can get by with looking professionally. That's all I need.
Mine depends on what the circumstance is. So the hair he would always want down and straight. He doesn't like it, maybe a little waves, but he doesn't like it when I curl it. Ponytail
Which you
is
do
always
kind
good.
of often.
I do, but by the time I get home, it's kind of dwindled down, so it's better. He doesn't like the straight curls. No.
So my hair wouldn't fly.
No.
No.
Nope. It's not.
I think there's a
not
lot
like
of guys who don't love the hair curled as much as. So we always call it girl hot. Like if you wear an outfit that is far more like trendy, then you're trying to be girl hot. But if like you care more about like your actual like body and the way you look, then you're actually trying for either your significant other or for men. Like I think there's a difference. And I think curled hair a lot of times, like specifically like the beach waves almost, is like girl hot versus like guys are like, no, just give me.
And
a
with
straight
you
hair.
and me, it's hard to get our hair waves.
I can teach y'all.
That's
all.
Ours is a little. We do it.
Let's see the previous statement. I'm not interested in trying that hard.
Well, see, I've always enjoyed doing my
does
hair
not
and
want.
makeup. So I love trying different looks. I love trying different things. I mostly keep it curly like this in the summer just because it's easier and I can go like 4 or 5 days without washing it as long as I use dry shampoo. But I love it. I'm the type of hair that you either have to curl it or you have to straighten it. There is no middle ground. There is no just letting it air dry.
Yeah, I don't have that either, but that's why my hair is up right now.
This is the first time my hair has been down.
Yeah. Then again, I was on air this morning at 7 a.m., so I figured nobody really cares what my hair looks like right now.
No, but if we're going out, it would be, kind of something along the lines of I don't know necessarily like no bra, but maybe a push together bra.
I just hate wearing bras, and
it's not a push up.
Notices it when I'm not,
but it's a push together.
Oh yeah.
Tyler, did you have any idea what you were getting into tonight?
A push together bra, is that like a push up bra?
Yes.
No. Well,
Yes.
You don't need the help with them up, but you need the help with them going together.
Yeah.
There's two different things here. If the men out there, if you don't know, the push up bra will just get you up. It won't necessarily get you together.
So there's a difference between up and together.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you ever tried the Kim Kardashian method? Where she like duct tapes the side of her, like if you wear like a halter top like style dress,
like
she
duct tape.
I bought it recently. I tried to do it because I had a special dress that I was wearing to a wedding, and it was very low cut but backless. So I bought this. I googled, found some videos, and apparently like the way you tape your boobs up and in is works the best. That's what the Kim Kardashian method. That's what she does when she wears like these fancy ball gowns.
Because you go up all you want, but if they're not together, then it just kind of looks silly.
No, I ended up ripping it off.
That was my next question. Yeah, if they're not together but they are up, that does look a little odd.
It just looks odd. Exactly. You got to go together. So, there.
Tips on how you get cleavage, Tyler.
Go together with duct tape.
Things he's writing down tonight. Wait, so I guess obviously the sticky boobs, which we've talked about in the past, which are just like the stick-on boobs, those don't
Chicken
work.
cutlets, no, they sweat off. It's gross. And plus, I would just prefer to just not. I mean, unless I have to, I don't want to wear a bra ever.
Well, hey, if you don't have to, then it's fantastic.
Yeah.
There are certain ways that help you to not wear bras.
Speaking of significant other, I came across this on Twitter over the weekend, sent it to you. In this day and age, what are your thoughts about the tradition of a woman taking a man's last name during marriage? This is from a Jordan Grace on Twitter. And also she puts, in the alternative, what do you think about both parties changing their name to a hyphenated version of both partners' names?
Before we answer, I want to go to the male in the audience. Tyler, if you proposed to a woman, and then after you discussed your wedding plans, she said to you, hey, you know what? Love you, Tyler, but I'm not taking the last name of Devitt. I'm keeping my last name of Samansky. How would you feel?
I would probably be offended at first, but I think I would make a stipulation that when we have kids, the kid takes my last name.
Okay, so if she said, I want to hyphenate the last names and I'll be Devitt Samansky, and I want my kids to be hyphenated,
No. One or the other. You're either going all in
in or you're not going.
Okay, all right.
You don't tip the toe into the pool without, you got to dive head first or just stay out of it.
And this is why I asked him first, because I wanted to gauge the male perspective, because I think most men fit into that category of, I either want my future wife to take my last name, or I definitely want my kids to take my last name. So however we have to work it out, then that's going to be.
And doesn't it almost make it easier? Like if you're, I heard a case of like a woman who didn't take her husband's last name, and she was trying to visit him in the hospital, and she had to prove that she was married to him because she never changed her last name.
Right.
So he was like in a coma or something. And she was trying
Marriage
to visit
license.
him. Yeah. So I guess she had to bring extra identification to prove that she was married to him. When if you just had a driver's license, then
the copy of your marriage license, then you would have to go through the court system in order to get a copy of it, and that costs money, and that also can take some time, I would assume.
Right.
So therefore, that might have been why she was delayed. But if she had kept the copy, then or the actual marriage certificate, then I would think that she would be able to march right down there.
See, I'm married, and on air I am Donna Murphy because it's just easier to say that. But legally, my name is Donna Ballou Murphy. I kept my maiden name and added his, not because anything against TJ, just because I loved being a Ballou so much. I'm like, I can't give it up. I'm adding you, but I'm keeping my side of the family. So
Ballou's not your middle name.
No, it's my maiden name.
And
no, I am not related to Rick Ballou.
Yes, we should clear that up, because that was one of the first questions I had when I first started working here. Donna would send emails and it would say Donna Ballou Murphy.
Right.
I was like, okay, Ballou's not a common last name here. She's got to have some relation here. Rick
Now,
Ballou.
trust me, I'm sure somewhere down our bloodline we are, because we're both from the same area.
Right.
You know, it's weird because his mom's name is Donna, and he has a brother named Jeff. My name's Donna. My brother's name's Jeff. It's just a little weird.
That is really weird.
A little spooky, but yeah.
But so I always thought that Ballou was your middle name, because a lot of women will take their maiden name, push that to their middle name, kick their middle name goodbye, and then they keep their last name as their actual last name.
Nope. I still have my middle name.
I like it.
So I have 4
I would
names.
keep my middle name.
My
Well,
parents
a lot
gave
of
me my
people
middle
would
name.
say, what's your middle name now?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. So some people would say, I'm moving Elizabeth out, and I'm going to be Blythe Brumleaf, and
Not
then
a
new
chance.
last name.
No.
Right.
And that's the thing. So my eldest cousin, who lives in California, she did the hyphenation, and so she has Cifuentes-Winter as her last name, Winter being her maiden name. And then her kids have the hyphenation. So that's why I was asking you, Tyler, because I have a family member who decided to do that. And I think go for it. Like, whatever works for you
It's a
and
personal
works for your
decision.
family, absolutely. And I think especially if you're professionally known. So let's take Sarah Walsh, for example.
Right.
She's a good example of this. Sarah Walsh professionally was already known as Sarah Walsh. She was on SportsCenter and certainly did a lot of other stuff with ESPN. And when she got married to Matt Bushman, I think legally her name is Bushman, but no one else would have any idea that her name is Bushman because all of her Instagram, Twitter, everything still says Sarah Walsh. So there's a way that you can do it where legally, yes, you change and you go through all the paperwork and everything. But as far as the public persona goes, you don't change it at all. And that's kind of the opposite of what you did, Donna.
Yeah, because I almost like one of my brother's middle name is a family last name, far removed. So
I'm the same
sometimes
situation.
I thought about, I was like, oh, well, with Summer, I was like, I could do Summer Ballou Murphy. That Ballou could be her middle name, but I had already long ago decided what the middle name. But you can use the last name, I think, as a middle name.
See, I wouldn't get rid of my middle name just because of the fact that Elizabeth and Henry have been in our family for hundreds of years. So I would never get rid of my middle name. But as far as I feel like it depends on the situation, because a couple situations that I found myself in previous relationships, one of them didn't want to do it whatsoever, did not want to take their last name. It was very difficult. Ukrainian last name with one vowel in it, and I was like, no, this is not gonna work, and it really offended him, and it offended his family, and I sort of held my ground about it. But then in another situation, I was more than happy to take when we discussed it.
And in some cases, remember that, I forgot if he's Senator whoever, Anthony Weiner. Who would want to take I'm not going to take the last name Weiner. I'm sorry. That is not going to be on my driver's license. I'm not adding that. No.
I think it's a case-by-case basis.
Right.
Very, very personal decision. But I think it also, you got to, if you choose not to, there's a lot of people in your family that are going to be very upset.
Right.
Or their family that's going to be very upset.
True.
Yeah, and that's why I think the hyphenation thing does work as far as a compromise goes, but it still makes everything very complicated, especially for your kids, when then not only are they learning one last name, they're learning last name, hyphenation, and then another last name. So it just, like you said, it depends. And as long as, I think you have to kind of block the rest of the family out because it's not their relationship. As long as the two people in the relationship are willing to make it work, then they'll decide what's best for them and move along. But if you have to weigh in that like great aunt or great uncle, then good luck.
Peace out.
My name is way too difficult to be hyphenating anything.
All right, when we come back, we're going to get to a dose of Daly's Place and give away tonight's Peterbrook Chocolate Heel. That is all coming up next. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, built by Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL. Lauren Brooks here, calling on the north side. Whether you're dreaming of a waterfront getaway or a more private preserve home, you must view Plummer Creek by Dream Finders Homes. Located close to historic Fernandina and Amelia Island, Plummer Creek offers you convenience to shopping and dining. Check out the incredible amenities, including a large outdoor kitchen, pool, and private kayak launch. Starting in the mid-200s, invest in a simpler and more private lifestyle at Plummer Creek. Dream Finders Homes, homes built to fit your lifestyle.
My mom said, "Oh, poor Tyler, having to listen to us talk about the push together bra."
These are things that people need to know.
You can't just push them up. You gotta push them together.
It's difficult being a woman. You can't just wake up and go.
I mean, what do you want? Like shoulder pads?
What do you
want? You want cleavage.
I did just buy one of those new bras that had like it's supposed to fix what the duct tape was supposed to do. I haven't tried it yet.
Like I haven't gotten any. I see them sold by like Venus and Vicky's. It's like it's the tape right here and then just the cup.
Yeah.
You know.
I just bought one, but I feel like if you
sweat or
you.
Yeah.
I don't know. You take a step too aggressively or something like.
Hello. I agree. I don't know, man. It's
No, I'll never forget
risky.
The last time I wore sticky boobs was at a Jaguars event, and it was in July, and it was when they were debuting the scoreboards. And Carrie Underwood had that little concert out there, and she's wearing her leather pants. I'm like, what is this bitch doing wearing leather pants out here? It's 100 degrees. But then I'm wearing sticky boobs, and I'm sitting at the concert, and they're falling down. I have to like run to the bathroom holding myself.
That's got to be a lot of baby powder. Doesn't baby powder helps with
I didn't know what to do. I was just in the bathroom. I was like patting them dry. I was like, well, we're just going braless tonight. Sorry.
Boy, that's funny. Yeah, well, we talk about what we talk about. It's enjoyable.
Uh-oh, Edelman loses appeal. Misses the Jags game. That's good. Good job, Alex. I didn't even think about that.
Not surprised.
I thought, wasn't it kind of bullshit what they found in his system? I feel like they all are.
Whenever something comes across with the Patriots got in trouble, I just ignore it. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. Whatever.
But I think it was something.
Well, he tried to appeal it saying you mishandled my sample.
Yeah.
So whether or not they did or not, but I'm like, you're never going to win this appeal. Come on now.
Does anybody ever win their appeal?
Some do, or at least get like one game taken away.
Who was the guy that won his appeal because they mishandled the sample and like kept it in room temperature for too long or something?
That. And that's probably what he was trying to go with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it worked once, and so they want to try it again.
Nope. Funny.
I had an ex with the last name Hobley. Didn't like it and thought about that from the beginning. It made me think of The Hobbit.
That's what I'm saying, man.
At least you have a go-to Halloween costume every year, right?
Like, why would you, my cousin's name is Dennis Ballou, and his wife's first name is Teal. So she kept her last name because she didn't want to be Teal Blue. So it sounds like Teal Blue. She's like, I'm not going to be Teal Blue. Which, that makes sense. I'm like, I get you.
Oh, I remember having a conversation after, because I was engaged, and when the wedding was called off, I remember having like a little heart-to-heart with my now ex's mother, and she was like, when it really started turning down south, she was like, it was because you wouldn't take his last name. I was like, which that was the last conversation I ever had with her. Like, you don't want to talk to your idiot son?
You know?
Still living at home, not throwing shade or anything.
Oh man, I love my Baloo family too much. Can't give it up.
Plus, I like my name.
Right? Fun.
But I also wonder what it's like to have an easier name. I remember wanting to be called Kelly as a kid. I didn't want to be Blythe. I wanted to be a Kelly.
You wanted your first name to be Kelly?
Well, 90210 was really popular at the time. So
Now
I was like,
she's
when
got a
I'm
tough
going to
name.
get old enough, I'm going to.
So is Amber, she just goes by her full name? Tiffany Amber Thiessen?
That's Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
90210 is different.
Oh, okay. I was going with Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Also, well, that's a cool name, though.
I was thinking the same thing.
Watch this baby eat sprout.
So cute.
On Nessun it was a few weeks ago. They kept going to a little boy. He probably had to be like
Thank you.
a year and a half, 2, in the stands, and every time they went to him, he had something different to eat.
That's me.
Every time.
Me at a game.
So funny.
You're listening to Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes,
Presented by Underwood Jewelers and American Window Products.
on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Quick piece of breaking news. Patriots wide receiver Julian Edelman's suspension was upheld by the NFL. Therefore, Edelman will not be on the Patriots team when New England comes to Jacksonville week 2 of the 2018
surprised.
season. Certainly not surprised that the suspension was upheld,
No.
but just wanting to mention that before we get to a dose of Daly's Place. Normally, Ashlyn Sullivan joins us right now, Jaguars.com digital reporter and host, but she and John Ozier from Jaguars.com, they both joined Frank Frangie and Hayes Carline earlier and did about an hour and 20 minutes worth of Jaguars talk. So Ashlyn gets the night off, but we will still bring you a dose of Daly's Place, and we're about to give away tonight's Peterbrook Chocolate Heel. First and foremost, I want to tell you, my parents went to the Tedeschi Trucks Band concert on Friday. They had a big group of people. They were tailgating, and they had an absolute blast.
That's
and I
awesome.
saw that the mayor, Lenny Curry, was there as well, and also Carson Tinker was there presenting a Jaguars jersey to Tedeschi Trucks, the long snapper for the Jaguars, as well. So I think that's the awesome part, that this year they're able to, because it's there's time has passed and there's been a lot of concerts, so they've kind of been able to figure out all the kinks, and so now they're able to incorporate both the Jaguars and the concerts. And I'm sure it happened behind the scenes last year, but I think now we're really starting to see Jaguars players getting really involved with the artists that come to Daly's Place, and I think that's fantastic because it is such a huge part of kind of the stadium landscape now.
It really is. It's pretty cool, and I'm just I just Googled
Stop it.
Bublé Tour 2018. I'm like, I'm just waiting for him to finish his album.
Shouldn't you go to 2019?
Well, because he's not on the tour dates yet.
Oh,
but,
yeah, that's right.
So, because I want to be just like Lenny Curry, and when Bublé comes, I'm going to be front and center and be like, what up, dude? I've been asking for you to get here at Daly's Place for years now.
Yeah, my mom also told me, I put it in my Spotify so that I wouldn't forget, one of the opening acts before Tedeschi Trucks was, and I think I have this right, the Marcus King Band. It takes a while for Spotify to load on my phone. But I want to say it was the Marcus King Band. And she said they were fantastic. So, of course, what's the first thing I do? I go back, yeah, I'm right, Marcus King Band. I go back and listen to their stuff. They were fantastic. So not only is Daly's Place bringing in some great headlining artists, but also the opening acts are terrific as well.
They look like a band that should open for
Yes,
Tedeschi. Yeah,
absolutely. And then one other thing, lots of artists going forward also will be given Jaguars jerseys, such as 30 Seconds to Mars. All that band were given Jaguars jerseys. And then this weekend, lots of concerts coming up. Three Doors Down and Collective Soul will be taking place on Saturday. Then Coheed and Cambria and Taking Back Sunday, of course, on Sunday, because you can't have Taking Back Sunday any other day of the week. And there are tickets available for both of those shows. I had a friend reach out and ask for tickets for Taking Back Sunday, so he gets to go to that concert on Sunday. I know that will be an absolute blast. All right, Tyler, all this talk about music. Are you ready to give away tonight's Peterbrook Chocolate Heel? Nice choice.
Daredevil. That's what this is from, right? The movie Daredevil. I'm pretty
Sure.
sure.
Try to forget that
Unless
movie.
it was just with Elektra. I don't think she did a movie by herself.
No.
I remember this scene that she was, because this song came on in the scene where she was kicking butt in training, and I'm like, yes!
That's where they met,
This
isn't
is
it?
so badass. I love it. I think so.
I think that's where they met, Jennifer Garner and Ben
Yeah.
Affleck.
I know music, not movies, so sure, I'll disagree with you. All right, if you want to win tonight's Peterbrook Chocolate Heel, text into the 1010XL text line driven by Duval Ford, 641-1010. You know the drill, either the name of the song or the name of the artist, and you will win tonight's Peterbrook Chocolate Heel. You got it right?
It's on the soundtrack,
Yeah,
and I'm pretty
so I
sure
believe you.
so it's the same scene.
All right,
Terrible movie, though.
Some of the big
Yeah.
news Sunday night, LeBron, really the big news Sunday night, LeBron James
Say what?
moves from Cleveland to LA, where he has not one but two homes in Los Angeles, California.
2 homes.
2 homes, that's right. I guess they like to,
Or maybe they
have
rent one out
friends
or
and
something.
Family. I highly doubt
A beach
they
house?
rent one out.
You could be. You know,
Do they
real
have
estate.
like a beach
Gotta
house?
diversify that income.
I doubt it. I just feel like they probably have one closer to downtown and maybe one closer to the beach is my
That
guess.
makes sense. Kobe
But,
used to take a helicopter because the traffic is so dreadful out there. He used to take a helicopter to Laker practices and games.
So you have been a LeBron fan, certainly, no matter what team he's been on, whether it be the Cavaliers, the Heat, now the Los Angeles Lakers. Are you still a LeBron fan? Are you going to cheer for the Lakers?
No, I mean, as a lifelong Laker fan, I'm happy to add the greatest player that we've ever seen. I've been supporting the Lakers for a very long time, whole 48 hours.
I was going to say, I'm like, I don't think I ever remember you, and I don't understand how it's possible. Okay, good. So you played me.
No.
You got me on that one.
No, I definitely. NBA to me more than any other sports league is a player-driven league. You see it with the contracts. You see it with the negotiations. Players pick where they want to go. They hold most of the power as far as the league is concerned. And so yeah, I'm definitely going to be a LeBron fan. I think that it's a great move for him career-wise. I don't know if he's going to, I mean, instead of losing to the Warriors, a few times a year and then in the finals, he's just going to lose to him just a bunch more. But I think that this move for LeBron isn't necessarily about this year. I think it's going to be next year and the following years after that. It's a 4-year deal. I think it's $150-some-odd million contract.
153.3.
153. He's going to need that extra $3 million. As far as I know, he's probably living a rough life until he gets that contract. Sarcasm, of course. But I wonder though if this is good for the league. I think to me it sort of makes the regular season completely pointless unless Golden State and the Lakers play each other, because that's what I want to see. And maybe OKC and maybe a little bit Houston, but outside of that, there really are no other teams that I would be interested in seeing until the playoffs start.
Donna, tell her all about your Celtics.
Well,
Well, they're guaranteed to go to the finals now.
I haven't really rooted against LeBron, but now I can't root for him at all.
Obviously.
I mean, Celtics don't like the Lakers. It's not what it used to be in the 80s, obviously, but hell no. So no, bye.
I did think about that,
Especially not
too,
rooting
though.
for any team
Welcome
that has
to
a
my
ball
side.
on it. I'm not rooting for any Lonzo crap like that. And please stay away from Boston. Don't even think about coming our way. So no, I'm excited though.
I do think in about a year it's going to be LA, Boston again. I think that renews that rivalry,
which will be fun.
Yeah,
just like when Stanton went to New York,
yes.
and now it's Stanton Judge, and again, and that rivalry kind of came back. So that's been fun, and if it brings the rivalry back, I'm all for it. But no, not cheering for him. Sorry.
Well, you're. I would say a lot of maybe casual NBA fans or even fans that just started watching the league within the past 10 years or so. I think if you grew up with a team, it's different.
Right.
I think a lot of NBA fans though are casual fans and they really only follow the players.
Like I will. On days off, and I have been known to do this on NBA TV when they have classic games or specials with Bird and Magic, I'll just sit down and watch that because it's so much. Basketball was so much better then. It was just fun and rough, and it's just so much fun to watch and fast.
All right, so one Lakers fan said that he does not like his team's colors with the purple and gold. Is there a team that either of y'all cheer for that you don't like their colors?
That I cheer for? No, personally, but there are teams that I hate their color scheme. Hate them.
Yeah.
Steelers, Browns, Seahawks, Kentucky. in Syracuse.
Seahawks?
I don't like the lime green. I think it's kind of. I think it's equivalent to the Jaguars helmets, the old helmets. It's sort of a gimmicky to me. I'm not a fan of the lime green.
And Kentucky, that's just royal blue and white.
Hate them.
Very simple. You just hate the team.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The
And
color scheme
have grown,
itself can't be terrible.
but I've grown up being conditioned that red and black is good and blue and white is bad.
I agree.
And so if I see that color scheme, immediately it's a no-go for me.
Pinstripes are awful.
Yeah.
No one likes pinstripes.
But that's more of a pattern than a color
Right.
scheme.
No, I love all my team's colors. But I think and I just looked at the Seattle Mariners are the ones that need to complain with whatever horrific design
It's
put
just
out.
boring.
No, these new ones. Did you see the new ones that they sported?
Oh, no.
They're, first of all,
they're red?
Well, yes. First they changed to red. They look like Arizona. And then they cut off the sleeves.
And their numbers are shiny.
What in the God's name did they put on these things? They're awful. They're absolutely horrendous.
See, I kind of like the no sleeves look.
Oh,
I like that
look. Oh,
Sun's out,
it's
guns out.
Awful.
Fan.
Absolutely. Nope. So I'll go with. I think Seattle Mariners should be very upset right now and hate their team colors, whatever that mess is.
Growing up a fan of Florida and then attending school there, I could never say that I don't like orange and blue, but I will say that it is difficult to be very bold in your orange and blue without looking entirely silly. Like, I'll wear every Friday before a Florida game, I will wear bright orange and blue to work, and I look like I'm
Halloween.
A Gator fan.
Not necessarily Halloween. I obviously look like a Gator. I just look a little bit ridiculous. I look less professional, I think, than I should, but I obviously work in sports, so I don't care.
I think you look like you're sporting your team's colors.
Well, and so a lot of times I go more toward the navy and orange because I think that is a more professional look. Wearing navy right now, I think even with an orange skirt, I'm wearing a green, like olive skirt right now, so certainly nothing bold. But I think even with a bright orange skirt, that would look a little bit more professional. But the royal blue and the bright orange do not, like, I love it for game day. I love it in general, but I don't think it's a very professional color combo.
Yeah, I hate the color orange with a passion. And Syracuse was on my list as one of the teams that I just
Is that
don't
because
like.
you're sometimes a redhead? I feel like I've heard in the past that people who have any sort of like auburn hair hate the color orange.
Really? No, has nothing to do. I just hate.
redhead
I've always
hate
hated the
orange.
color. I don't know that I've ever owned anything orange ever. No, I'm going to say that.
You don't own anything garnet or gold.
I don't.
Right.
I mean, I have a
Do
tank
you
top, let's say,
hate
that's
those
like
colors?
mustard colored, but I would never wear said tank top with
Do you
anything.
hate those colors?
Oh, absolutely. And my mom wears garnet and gold a lot. It looks great on her. But every time she wears it, I tease her. I'm like, Mom, you look like a Florida State fan. And at one point, my parents' house was decorated in like some garnet and gold. And again, it's a great color scheme for a house. It looked great.
It is really pretty.
But I was like, guys, this feels like you're living, or I'm living in the land of the Knolls every time I walk in your front door. I just don't feel comfortable. My mom's car is garnet. It's a great color. Again, for her, it's just, and again, if I had a car that was royal blue or orange.
Terrible.
The royal blue, not so much, but the
like
orange
a traffic cone
would certainly look silly. And so, yeah, that's what I.
What about colors you love? Or team color combos that you love?
Teal and black, I think, is fantastic.
Yeah,
especially with a little gold mixed in. I think the Jaguars.
I've heard from female fans all across the country that they love our color scheme.
I would say, it's perfect for tomorrow. Red, white, and blue, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So
I'd say Chargers too. I like Chargers color scheme. And Green Bay. I really love Green Bay's color scheme.
Green and
They're
yellow.
classic. Yeah. They're very classic.
It's a classic uniform, and I don't like like if I'm gonna get dressed, I have to wear yellow and green. That's worse than
just
orange
wear a lot
and
of
blue.
yellow. Probably yellow makes them happy during all the winter months.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. Because I can't see the sun.
Oakland, or are they still in Oakland? I don't know.
The Cowboys color
A's
scheme is great too. Like navy blue and silver. That's an easy one too.
See, I love light blue,
Or
so
LA.
I choose the Chargers. I like them.
Las
I almost
Vegas.
said San Diego. Or LA. Yeah, LA.
Tomorrow is the 4th of July. Hopefully most of
many.
you have the day off, and certainly to all of our veterans and active duty military, we say thank you. When we come back, we are going to get into what is the most fun holiday and our plans for tomorrow. That's all coming up next. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes on 1010XL.
Catch the biggest NASCAR
Check the weather for tomorrow, shall we?
Oh, I looked at it earlier. Not so good.
Hourly.
The WWE is growing, one of the fastest growing sports as far as entertainment is concerned. And their audience pays.
My cousin who lives in
Thunderstorms.
Pennsylvania. Yeah. My cousin lives in Pennsylvania. My third night of dog sitting with a puppy, and I never want to have to take care of a living thing again.
So would you rather be able to talk to the puppy?
She said, "This is not." Wait, you can't see it. Oh, I think I messed it up. There we go. She said, "This is nonstop."
No dogs on the couch.
One of my friends was like, "What's that place you're advertising for? Lumber Creek?" And I was like, "Plumber Creek?" And he was like, "No, it's Lumber Creek." And I was like, "No, it's Plumber Creek." I did the spot.
All right.
No,
Oh, damn.
Seriously, it's lumber. No,
We're getting
I
corrected
don't
here.
advertise for any lumber.
absolutely promise you, it's Plumber Creek.
So there was an Electra movie, and it's awful, apparently.
Oh.
Just a guy named Ty says there was an Electra movie and it was awful. Plus, Ben and Jen were in Pearl Harbor together before Daredevil. No, Liv Tyler was in Pearl Harbor.
Or Kate Beckinsale was in that. I thought
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
You're right. My bad.
Oh my God, I remember Jen.
Yeah, Jennifer Garner wasn't in.
Well, now you're gonna make me think.
Yeah, Donna's Googling.
Jennifer Garner. I am, and there you are. I don't remember her.
She was definitely not in Pearl Harbor.
But seriously, that scene where she's training and that music, I was like, oh, this is so cool. We gotta go way down here. What year was that? Electro, yeah, Electro, 2005. I don't see it.
False.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Pearl Harbor.
damn.
Nurse Sandra.
All right. My
You're
bad.
right.
He was right. Nurse Sandra. Was it like a side part? Was it like a gimme part?
Here's a picture of scallops.
That's a lot of scallops.
I randomly saw them.
That's a ton of scallops.
Who is it? Kate Beckinsale is
So easy to get them, I'm telling you.
because I don't even really like fishing, but scalloping I love.
Yeah, Nurse Sandra.
Scalloping is more active.
Harold will always be there for you. 24
Yeah,
hours a
I
day.
could not stand Pearl Harbor. That movie was
I liked it. I probably wouldn't watch it today though. I'd probably hate it if I watched it today.
I didn't like it because it came out shortly after Private Ryan came out. And so I went thinking it was going to be a war movie, and it was nothing about war. I'm like, this is lame. Why am I watching some kind of love movie?
Or like one guy dies and then he comes back and finds out his
Right,
girl
I'm
is
like,
with his best
boo.
friend.
Private Ryan. That was
Damn, 9-3?
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
What? How'd we get 9 runs?
I saw it.
Lots,
5
yeah.
at first.
Lots of
Grand Slam?
hits. No. No, but did you see Rick Porcello yesterday?
No.
Our pitcher, bases loaded, and he hits a base clearing double. Our pitcher, it was hilarious. It was exciting because you don't expect it.
Yeah, it's after July 4th is when I start watching baseball again.
Well, you're gonna have fun watching this team.
I did watch a little bit earlier in the year just because Red Sox Yankees.
Right.
And I have some Yankee friends and they're always texting me about it. And one of the consensus was, it's good that the rivalry is being renewed again.
Yeah, and especially because they keep talking about how many home runs Judge and Stanton. I'm like,
How many
we
strikeouts?
still have
though?
more home runs than they do.
How many
with
strikeouts?
Betts and Martinez. Stop with that, fools.
At the All-Star
It
game
is
coming
fun,
up,
though.
I'll start getting on my mid-season breakdowns and I know where everybody's at.
You'll have fun watching this team.
That's from the highlights that I've seen. They look like a lot of fun.
Just don't watch when David Price pitches.
Is he still the number 5 pitcher?
No, he's 3. 3? He's 3. He used to be 2.
Do you follow the starting 9 at all, or Jared Carabas? He had his own podcast for a while, Boston-based guy, huge Red Sox fan, but he's really funny to follow on game days. He's now a Barstool guy, but he's obviously
Right.
you'd like him. He's not a jerk, I guess, like Portnoy is.
Update your contact info today at JEA.com. JEA, building a more prepared community.
You want an IT company that is responsive, looks nice and neat, doesn't get your problems fixed, no long-term contracts? I'm Matt Ray, president of Kendall Ray Real Estate, Jacksonville-based commercial real estate appraisal firm. My friend Jeremy
I'm back here in 30.
systems.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Custom IT support. Whether a broken mouse or system issue, we're a small company to get big-time IT help.
Colts are terrible. Andrew Luck, did he start throwing yet? A real football?
We saw saw a little bit, but nothing like.
Isn't he still throwing like a college-sized football or like a Nerf ball or some shit?
They don't have any practices right now. So the last update was that he was throwing a college football. He picked up the professional one.
You're listening to Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes.
Presented by Underwood Jewelers and American Window Products.
On 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
So for a lot of people, it's Thanksgiving. Other people, Christmas. For me, the 4th of July is my absolute favorite, most fun holiday. If you've never been to a fun 4th of July party, I feel bad for you if you think it's just fireworks late at night. It should be a whole day's worth of celebrating our independence. And yes, for a lot of people that means imbibing a lot of alcohol and riding bikes that have been decorated and wearing super festive attire, but that's just the beach. All over the place.
Guilty.
You can have barbecues and pool parties, and you can go on the boat, and the whole time I think keep in mind that so many people have sacrificed so much for us to live the lives that we get to live. It's an awesome day of everybody celebrating our country. And by the way, this year could have been even better if the U.S. was still in the World Cup, which even if the U.S. had qualified, I don't think the U.S. would still be alive now and make it to the quarterfinals. However, I love the 4th of July. I love everything about it. Everyone's on the same page, and everybody has an absolute blast. And this year obviously happens to be on a Wednesday, so everybody gets the day off for the most part. And then everybody, well, some people were smart and they took Thursday and Friday off.
I know people that took the whole week off.
Yeah, and I have good friends that took the whole week off as well. But for me, it'll be just tomorrow, and it'll be so much fun hanging out with friends and family on a day where I think it is important to remember why we have the day off. What to you, ladies, is the most fun? Not your favorite necessarily, because Christmas I feel like can be everyone's favorite for sentimental reasons. But what is the most fun holiday?
I mean, Christmas is definitely up there. Christmas is, bar none, my favorite holiday, just because of the atmosphere, the presents, the food, everything is my favorite meal of the entire year, the one that my mom cooks. But if I'm going to go for summer holidays, July 4th is up there. But I could make a strong case for Memorial Day, just because it's summer's just starting up. It's guaranteed a 3-day weekend, so I would lean more towards Memorial Day, and you get to enjoy sort of the same foods as July 4th. You still get fireworks, still get all that jazz, but it's a guaranteed 3-day weekend. That gives it a slight edge for me.
Mine is Thanksgiving. That's my most fun. I love it. You have awesome sports. You got great games usually, and you have eating non-stop.
Thanksgiving is good too.
And you're with your family the whole time, and you can wear pajamas all day because you're eating non-stop. I am not a 4th of July fanatic because I'm not a fireworks fanatic.
Sure.
I do not like them. I don't want to hear them.
Do your dogs get upset by them?
Yeah, and I never used to be like a big my mom, we were down last weekend, and I love Beef's tweet because I saw him tweet about fireworks in Oakleaf last weekend. I go, yeah, I hear them here in Daytona too, and I can't, why? And I get so enraged. Like, I'm just very nice, and then all of a sudden you hear boom, 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 and I just turn into the Hulk, and I want to walk over to them and say, why? It is not the holiday today. Why? Why are you doing this?
Oh, see, I have a ballpark, and where the way my backyard is positioned, there's a ballpark in the back behind my yard, so it's about a week-long event.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve and July 4th, it is a week-long extravaganza for people to go to the ballpark and light off fireworks at all hours of the night.
Look, it was, and I'm lucky that our daughter isn't born yet, because I would be mega Hulk, and it would not be nice. I would tell people, that's it. I'm going to take all these, and I'm going to shove them down your pants, and I'm going to light them on fire and see how you like it.
A buddy of mine has 2 kids, and he experienced this last year, and people were, I guess his neighbors had some young kids, and they were lighting fireworks off until like 3 a.m.
No.
And so the next morning, he took his kids outside and let them play and scream at around 7 a.m.
See? Smart.
I was like, yeah, that's really
brilliant.
smart.
Yeah.
And he said he made sure they played on that neighbor's side of the yard.
Yeah. And I wonder, like, shouldn't there be almost like a citywide, almost like sound alarm that
you would think
once,
people don't pay attention to that.
Like once 10 o'clock hits, if you shoot off another firework, like you risk
There's
something.
There's a Lawrence,
not necessarily getting arrested, but
Lawrence Police. I follow on Twitter, because they're very funny. And they sent out a tweet that's like, look at your right hand. Do you like it? Look at your left hand. Do you like it? Let's leave it that way. Don't be stupid, this weekend. I'm like, see, that's funny.
Because they also said, I think, that fireworks aren't allowed in their area.
I'm like, why can't we have that?
I know.
No, I love fireworks. I mean, I feel bad for people who it makes them uncomfortable. My grandma is one of them. It makes her really uncomfortable. She had a bad experience with fireworks as a kid. And even, a lot of military veterans, they suffer from PTSD. And so these kind of holidays are very difficult for them. Luckily enough that I was never, that none of that has ever affected me. So I love going all out as far as fireworks are concerned. That New Year's Eve, buddy of mine bought a giant sword, and it's almost like a giant sparkler, and you light the end of the sword, and it's flaming like the flaming sword from Game of Thrones.
The sparklers and stuff, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they make really cute pictures, too.
I'm talking about the ones that you would only go see collectively, like at the city, downtown.
Yeah,
Disney
Disney
at
or
the
something
landing,
like that.
And they like to do them in the neighborhood. Like, that's
the mortars. That's what you're talking about, the mortars.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, I think it should be reserved for the fireworks shows, whether it be the Jumbo Shrimp tonight, whether it be the city of Jacksonville Beach tomorrow night, or downtown, or any sort of neighborhood. I think you should only have those types of fireworks, mainly because of how many people suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. And you don't want that to be something that they dread every single year. So I feel like it should be city-run or government area-run if you're not in a city municipal area. And that's it. All of the other stuff, like, I guess because I'm not into it, I feel like it does more harm than good. And so, yeah, let the kids have the sparklers and let everybody have their fun.
Not me.
But
give me 5 Roman candles in each hand, and I want to run down the street blowing them off.
I guess it's because I have a good friend, one of Brian's really good friends, does not like it, and so that's where because someone personally, you feel for them, and it's like, yeah, you know what, now that I think about it, why is this person able to shoot this off at midnight when everyone's trying to sleep? Like,
I get it, but earplugs exist too.
All right, what are y'all's plans for tomorrow? Speaking of the 4th of July.
Well, now that the weather's kind of
Is it going to be
what's
crappy?
the latest? Earlier when I checked the Weather Channel app, it said 30% starting around 5 a.m.
What?
And then it increases to like 50% starting a little later. And so, yeah, right now it's showing me about 50%.
I was supposed to go to the beach in the morning, like bright and early.
That's what, that was my plan. I like to go early because nobody goes early.
Yeah, well, and you got to go early at some of these places. The loose plan was to go out to Huguenot, and you got to go early, especially on a holiday like that, and if you want to get a good spot. And
well, if it's raining, then you're
going to get a good spot.
You might as well. You'll get a good.
But I'm trying to get 35% at 6 a.m. and then 50% by 11 a.m. and then it finally stops around 4 p.m.
Dang.
So basically, your whole day there may be showers. I am no meteorologist, so I do not claim to be correct, but
we'll figure
either way, if let's just assume the weather's nice, then what are your plans?
Beaching it in the morning. We like to go early when nobody's there, and then when people start coming, we leave.
And then what will you do after that? Pool or just hang out at the house?
Just probably hang out. We got a lot. I mean, there's so much stuff to do outside if it's not 110 degrees that it feels like.
Yeah, I was outside for 5 minutes the other day, and I was sweating.
Right? So, there's that. There's games inside. There's you want the dogs like collapsing on the porch. So
I do want crab legs at some point tomorrow. Aww. That's the only thing. I want crab legs.
All right.
And Safe Harbor, shout out to Safe Harbor. They got the best voted, the best seafood in the state of Florida, and they're going to be open tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
And Metro Diner got the best breakfast in Florida.
Nice.
Tyler, have you ever been to the beach to experience the craziness and chaos that is the beach on the 4th of July?
Which is a lot of fun.
Yes. I've seen the shenanigans that go on, and I'm sure Blythe's been involved in some of these.
No comment.
Yeah, so First Street down, kind of starting around, really I guess where it starts, Neptune Beach, because it becomes Beach Avenue after that, but starting at that Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach beginning, and then all the way down probably to about, I'll say even south of Beach Boulevard, there will be a ton of people riding their beach cruisers up and down. And then, of course, everyone who lives in that section and even nearby will be having house parties. So
and water slides, and you can literally go from party to party. It's great.
There will be food, obviously, and drinks and stuff like that. And there will be some super loud music at certain parties. And while it is so much fun, it has gotten to a point where the last couple of years, there are certain sections where you can't even get your bike through.
Yeah, you can't even ride it through. You got to walk your bike.
Yeah, and so I think hopefully that part thins out if the weather is... Well, if the weather's not perfect, then I think that part can kind of control itself. But in the end, it ends up being quite the scene, and especially if you're someone who loves people watching, which I am. Like, put me in a chair on a deck and just let me watch to see what everyone's wearing and what their bikes look like. It is going to be that part for me. We have a friend who lives right down in the middle of it, so that way I'm not in the craziness of it, but I get to watch it all, and I have a house I can go into if things turn too crazy. That is going to be so much fun for me. And he wants to get water balloons, the one who lives there, water balloons and squirt guns, but I think you can get into some trouble by throwing water balloons at people.
Well, randomly?
Yeah. I guarantee. Now, if it's super hot, the squirt guns probably feel good, but the water balloons, that could knock someone off.
No, you need to ask permission, because people spend a lot of money and time on their hair and makeup. You hit me with a water gun, and I have good hair day, we're going to have problems.
I don't see it being like a New Orleans style,
melee?
Right. No one's tossing beads to get some water balloons thrown at them.
No, I did get to borrow, one year I got to borrow a 6-person bicycle, and I got to ride it out to 3rd Street, and I circled it around, and I came back around and rode it back, hopped off, went on a water slide, hopped back on the bike, and rode it back to the party.
You rode a 6-person bike by yourself?
I drove it. Me and a girlfriend, and then a random guy hopped in. It's just one of those friendly parties. Like, you're riding down the road, they say a giant bicycle.
See, good on you.
They hop in the bike with you.
Good on you guys, because when holidays like this, I'm like, I am not around people, man. I don't want to be around any of you. I just want to be with my family and just...
See, even talking about this, I'm kind of rethinking my plans tomorrow. Maybe I should skip the beach and go right to Jack's Beach instead.
All right, when we come back, we're going to get to the topic we discussed a while ago with Frank, inside sweating, Frank and Hayes, inside sweating versus outside sweating, and a whole lot more. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes on 1010XL.
No, if it's raining, I ain't going, but it is a lot of fun. It's a shit show, but it's a lot of fun.
The water balloons could be fun. We probably should have picked some of those up.
They make
today. I love those.
The water hoses where you can fill up like 20 of them at a time.
I haven't tried those because it's one of those gimmicks that this looks too good to be true.
Yeah.
Do they really all work, or am I getting like 3 good balloons out of a pack of 20?
Right. The worst is when you
fill
up
the balloon.
balloon
Off you.
Yeah,
they don't even break.
Right? My mom used to have an at-home daycare, and so we would always fill up the water balloons for the kids.
Yeah.
And I remember just throwing them at the kid's head, and they wouldn't pop. They'd hit the ground and pop.
That's funny. Like, man, that's a waste. Oh well, figure something out.
I wish someone would try to hit me with it. Unless I'm expecting it. I feel like you gotta at least engage with it at first.
Engage with what?
And engage with a water balloon battle. If you're not engaged and you just get blindside hit with one, no bueno.
Yeah, sponsor.
I'm Lauren Brooks, and you will find a better deal to keep your ride. Start in Scrubble Tunnel Wash and experience state-of-the-art equipment while enjoying a soapy lifestyle. We use quality soaps and chemicals, keeping your vehicle streak-free. Scrubble's 3-minute express car wash comes with free vacuuming. Each cleaning station is equipped with interior wipes, tire cleaner, window cleaner, and more. Visit Scrubble at the town center, and remember, trust the boat side.
Vegetarian.
Quality once you arrive.
No, I didn't read this inside.
JOI is proud to provide sports services not only to the Sharks, but also the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Armada, JU, and many local high schools. We have 35 of the most experienced, caring, and fellowship-trained specialists in orthopedics. It's no wonder why coaches, parents, and athletes choose JOI. We now made it even easier to reach us with one phone number for all our locations, JOI 2000. We are Jacksonville's Orthopedic Institute.
If the used auto part you need for your Ford, Mercury, or Lincoln is hard to find, you haven't looked at Rusty Acres. With many parts backed by warranty, call on Rusty Acres. 786-1777. Rusty Acres.
Tired of your glasses or contacts? After 41 years, I sure was. Jeff Foster here, and after LASIK surgery I found I'm waking up actually being able to read the alarm clock. No more putting contacts in while I play golf or taking them out before I sleep. Dr. Bell is a fellowship-trained corneal specialist certified in all refractive procedures, and it was clear my safety was the staff's priority. Val Knight Associates, keeping me and the First Coast focused. Schedule your free
Dude, you gotta read this. This is funny.
What?
I'm gonna tweet this to you because this is fantastic.
Last night on a flight home, my boyfriend.
That JBA, baby, that's why we out here. They said the league wasn't supposed to start. I'll tell you what, take the JBA Facebook and follow me and follow us. Yeah.
You're listening to the glorious sound of LeVar Ball.
Guess what? The best balling you've ever seen. You gotta get there first, though.
Yeah. So, yes, you got the league popping off in Atlanta.
Ooh, I can't wait for this.
But we got
LeVar Ball and LeBron.
A few months ago, you called LeBron to LA.
I called LeBron to LA. I knew he was coming to LA.
And this weekend, this weekend they have LeBron.
Didn't I tell y'all to call him LA Bron?
So what else can you like foresee in the future for the NBA? You calling them out
for the NBA, some championships for the Lakers.
For the Lakers.
I'm telling y'all.
Championships for the Lakers.
Hey, LeBron got a 4-year deal, right?
Yeah.
I hope he gets 4 in a row.
Yeah.
But if not, I guarantee 2 when all my boys is on the Lakers with him.
Well, game over. Since we're talking about championships, a lot of people
maybe one if he's lucky.
For the rest of the league because the Warriors just signed Boogie.
The Warriors can sign Boogie, Prince, Michael Jordan, anybody they want, they still ain't gonna win with this team right here. The Lakers with LeBron. You don't give my son the best player in the game, don't think he don't win no championships.
Yeah.
Trying to let y'all know.
Kinda wish he was a Jaguars fan. We'd have him as a hype man.
What do we?
To sign Boogie, Prince, Michael Jordan, anybody they want, they still ain't gonna win with this team right here. The Lakers with LeBron. You don't give my son the best player in the game, don't think he don't win no championships.
That's what's the meme when he's like they the cigarette in the mouth and they list like one name and
oh yeah, it's like the Jake Cutler meme.
Yeah, I gotta find it. Prince, Michael Jordan.
All right, back in 30. If you wanted to play that LeVar Ball cut, I got it ready. I know you guys like him so much.
I love it.
Donna and I talked about LeVar Ball recently and said we would never again talk about him on the show because he is so incredibly horrible as a husband.
All right, here we go.
Why is he bad as a husband?
Because his wife had a stroke and he does not even live with her anymore. Her parents take care of her.
Ooh.
You're listening to Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes.
Presented by Underwood Jewelers and American Window Products.
On 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
One more segment to go before the 4th of July here on Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes. But of course, Hacker After Dark is coming up next, so don't go anywhere. All right, I have this theory. I've had it since college, so I've had it for a while. In college, I used to work out at the gym at Florida, and I would come back, and once I stopped sweating, I would put on some deodorant, change my clothes, so I was not in my wet clothes, and then I would go to class.
Okay.
And nobody would ever know. No one said, oh, you smelled, or anything like that. But if I ever ran outside or even walked outside, or if I rode my bike to class, I could smell myself. So no one even had to say anything, right? Like, so I had to absolutely shower before I went to class. So I came up with this theory that, since I feel like for me personally, I've proven true. If I sweat inside a building with air conditioning, yes, I'm sweating like actual sweat drops, but I do not smell bad or have BO or however you want to classify it. I do not smell when I am finished. However, if I sweat outside,
okay,
I instantly do not smell good and must shower. I require a shower. Have either of you ever thought about this theory, or
no?
Okay. Do you think
when
that
I saw this question, I was like, "What the hell?"
Do you think that you could maybe try out this theory and get back to me on whether or not you think it's true?
I feel like I feel grosser when I'm outside and sweating versus in the gym and sweating.
Okay, so that's
it's a feeling, but not a smell. If that makes sense.
So if you were going to go anywhere after sweating inside the gym, would you require a shower?
Majority of the time, I will have deodorant on me, and a lot of the times I have baby wipes on me, especially at the gym. So I will do a quick, wipe down after the gym.
Right. So therefore, not requiring a shower.
Yeah.
So if you were to do some sort of workout outside or do yard work or something like that, yard work's a little different because there's dirt involved. But if you were to walk around the neighborhood, would you then feel like you absolutely have to shower?
I would desperately want to shower, but we're kind of lucky, I think, in where we live, that there are a lot of outdoor showers, especially if you go to the beach. So I think, I don't know. I've never noticed this difference. It's very difficult for me. But I usually have like a bag in the car for, like a game day bag. That I'll keep stuff like deodorant. I'll keep, oil face wipes, like an emergency kit. Baby wipes is another one. I'll keep all that on me. So if I do get even a hint of it and I don't have a shower near me, then I'll use that method.
D-Murph?
Last year, I used to run at lunchtime. Remember?
Yeah, of
almost every day.
In your neon bright clothes.
In my neon bright clothes. And you all had to deal with whatever I smelled like afterwards. I didn't care. I just don't care. I have my deodorant. I have,
We're proving ourselves into women who don't shower after working out.
I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't. The only time I feel like I desperately need a shower is after coming from the beach. I need to wash off that sand. I'm sorry. I'm going to be itchy everywhere, especially in hair. That's the only time I'm like, get me a shower right away.
Interesting.
I just Googled this. So apparently we have 2 to 4 million sweat glands located all over our body, and sweat produced when we're under emotional duress is made with a different kind of glands than other glands, and it results in a stinkier sweat. What exactly triggers stress sweat is still unclear, though scientists hypothesize that it's linked to the adrenaline release that accompanies a fight or flight situation. It's evolutionary and odorous.
Yes, and I would put stress sweat in the same category of sweating outside. So therefore, I think you just proved, and both of you just by your discussions proved, that my theory has at least some merit to it. While it may not be true, I think it does have some merit to it. So,
it also says there's a difference in age, too. There's a reason babies and little kids smell sweet. I don't think they smell sweet. I can smell BO a mile away. And a lot of little kids be stinking. You put people on deodorant a lot sooner than you think.
I think this gives people the ability to, if they know they're going to work out inside and then they are coming back to work, don't feel bad if you don't shower. As long as you take care of certain things like deodorant and dry off, and then I think you're good to go back to work.
Yeah, because then you're causing a disservice to other people around you.
Yeah, but I mean, I think some people have the excuse or use the excuse of, well, I can't shower, so I can't work out in the middle of the day.
Yeah, but you can bring baby wipes with you.
Right, so I think you can accomplish both and still not be disgusting. So I feel validated is how I feel right now. All right. Are you allowed to ask your significant other to do honeydews if they're on a staycation? Allowed, I use the term loosely because you're allowed to do whatever you want.
Yeah. Allowed is I don't know. I mean, what kind of honeydews are we talking? Like the good kind, or like
honeydews
take the chairs outside kind?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
No, I don't think, no. If it's a staycation, they deserve to have their time. So there's no. Cannot ask them to do. They can't ask you.
Right, you wouldn't want to be asked either.
I don't know. Mine's different because mine never gets time at home. So when he is home, I need help with stuff. I'm sorry. So when
it's time to get him to work.
When he hits up shore duty, I'll let you know. About this. The answer will probably be a little bit more different. But I give him his time, whatever you want. Can you do this one thing for me, please?
And whenever you have time,
can you paint the whole house?
Different, right? Well, and that's the thing. Like, I think it's how you ask, and I think it's what you're asking.
Right.
But I think a staycation, it should be the same kind of, not rules, because there shouldn't be rules, but same kind of thought process and theme as a real vacation. When you're on a real vacation, you're either staying at a hotel or a resort, or you're camping or whatever floats your boat. And there are no honeydews on that.
Well, unless you're camping is a lot of work.
Well, camping can be work, but for some people, like for instance, my parents go camping all the time. They have a tent. They don't have a camper or an RV yet. They want an RV at some point, but they go strictly camping. My dad makes cowboy coffee. They cook all their meals. They usually go with a bunch of friends, so they kind of share meals. But they don't feel like it's work whatsoever.
But you got to put everything together. It's expensive to go camping, and
but
it's
once
not.
You get all your stuff, you're.
But that's a lot of work, and then you got to set it up, and then you got to break it down.
But I think if you go all the time, it feels like less work. Like they never say like, oh, we got to get all this stuff together. Like they already have it all together, and they absolutely love it. I'm not saying they don't feel at certain points like, oh, we got to do this, we got to do that. But either way, in the end, I think still it's not like one of them is saying to the other, hey, will you go, paint the walls of the house, right?
But with a staycation, aren't you part of the staycation? Like, are you not taking a vacation? Is it just
you may not
your significant other?
My next vacation, it's just me. I'm not going anywhere. Brian has to work, but I have the week off because I need a week off before football season, and so I'm just taking the week. I'm not doing really a whole lot of anything. But I would be upset if he was like, okay, here's your list of items to do while you're off, because then it's not going to feel like a vacation, or the vacation part of it's not going to feel like that.
Well, see, like, I don't... they never get to be home, so can you help me? Like, I'm always doing everything. I'm the one taking the son to school and from school, and can you drop him off so I can have a morning? Or, like, that's how I would look at it. Be like, that's great. You go enjoy your day, but can you help me with a couple things around the house?
Yeah, makes sense to me.
All
right, I got to be in a fantasy golf league a couple years ago, and
Aren't you still in one?
Oh yeah, I've been in it ever since. I won 1 year. Actually, I might have taken a year off at this point, but I won the very first year. And this past week, I finally picked a winner. It's been a while, but I picked Francesco.
It away.
No.
Man.
I picked Francesco Molinari. He won the Quicken Loans National. Feel really good about it, but certainly still a long season to go. But I wanted to ask y'all if you played. So I would not pay nearly as much attention to golf if I did not play fantasy golf. It helps me pay attention every single week. I know a lot of the names that maybe some other people don't know, and certainly now that with Brunch the Tour that I have to take up where Sticks left off, where Tyler left off, which is certainly a really good standing with the group. I have to know what I'm talking about. And again, if I didn't play fantasy golf, I would have no idea. So therefore, I wanted to see if y'all played fantasy blank, which sport would you pay far more attention to?
College football.
Which you can't have fantasy because that's against the NCAA rules. But let's put that aside. College football.
Yeah, I don't pay much attention. My Saturdays are not reserved for the football. My Sundays are reserved for the football. I've always been that way. That's how I am. Even though I'm here in Jacksonville, surrounded by a ton of college football fans, but nope.
Well, then it would help you for the draft. You would know a lot of the guys that are coming into the draft. So, all right, college football for Donna.
Nothing. To be honest, I'm actually questioning the decision if I want to play fantasy football anymore.
Really?
It's one of those things. Sports gambling is legal now in a lot of different states, and
so now it's not fun.
And I'm commissioner of, technically 2 out of the 3 leagues that I'm in that I've been in every year, and it's just, I don't know, it's just sort of lost its luster for me. It's draft day is a ton of fun. I love draft day, but then the ongoing course of the season, you're managing it a lot, and you're not even going to really win that much money. It's the most I've ever won in fantasy football, and it was awesome to win this right around Christmas time with $700. But I've never come close to winning anything like that since. Most of my leagues are like a $50 or $75 buy-in, so you get about $300, maybe $400 or $500 at the end of a season if you win. But it's just a lot of work to spend all that time when really I enjoy draft day, and that's it.
Tyler, what about you? You already pay attention to the NBA, to Major League Baseball, obviously to NFL. What would your answer be? NASCAR?
No, not NASCAR.
Not even fantasy NASCAR would help?
I've done well on the drill with the picks for the PGA golf, so I think a fantasy golf league wouldn't be too bad.
All right, so maybe I can get you in my fantasy golf league. Do you have money to shell out once per year for said league?
Vegas, Tyler over there? Of course he does.
If somebody funds me, I will bring the picks, the winning picks.
Funds you, yeah. Well, so obviously in the drill league, you pick 2 guys every week, and you can pick those guys as often as you want. In the league where I play, you have 1 golfer each week, and you cannot pick him again. So you have to be very strategic on when you pick a certain golfer. So let's say, you think, I was going to say Tiger Woods, but the year I won, Tiger Woods was a much better option than now. But let's say,
he was close this
Let's say
weekend.
Bubba Watson, who's got 3 tour victories this season.
Does he really?
He does, yeah. So if you pick Bubba, you want to make sure you pick him at, if he looks like he's going to win a major, you get double money. You want to pick him then. It's very strategic, but it's so much fun to play because I do pay a lot more attention, and I feel like it helps, especially as far as this type of job is concerned. All right, final question for you ladies.
Go.
What is your go-to snack? Mine is a Lunchable. I love Lunchables, the turkey and cheddar one, just the
Pizza
Lunchable. I don't do anything other than that. Like, I don't need the Reese's cup. I just want just the turkey, cheese, and cracker. That's all I need. 12 grams of protein. That's my go-to snack. What about y'all?
This is a fun question right now because it depends on the moment, depends on the day. Right now, it is the Chips Ahoy, the crunchy chocolate chip cookies, not the chewy.
Right.
But my son loves the chewy ones, but I'm not digging those right now. I want the crunch. I want to feel the snap of the cookie. So I'll go with the chocolate chip cookies right now, or provolone cheese by the slices.
Oh, all cheese.
Mine's chips and salsa. Chips and salsa. I always have a jug of salsa in my house at all times. I usually have a variety of salsa in my house, and I'll have a bowl, and I've done this since I was a kid. I'll take the salsa, I'll pour it in the bowl, I'll crunch up a bunch of chips, mix it all together, and eat it with a fork. It's favorite snack. Favorite go-to snack. If it's like 11 p.m., I haven't eaten anything all day, like that's what I eat. It's
not with a spoon?
No, fork. It's like, have you ever had like a nacho bowl or like anything like that?
Well, I've had like rice bowls, but I would think with the salsa, because it's a lot of liquid.
Well, it depends on what you're going for. If you can have the fresh salsa, which is a little like runnier, or if I'm doing like the specific like salsa in the bowl trick with the crunched up chips, it's definitely paste salsa, paste picante.
I just love the word salsa. Seinfeld man, because I like to say salsa.
Tyler, what's your go-to snack?
Fantastic.
Besides coffee.
My go-to snack, I love the Belvita breakfast bars, the blueberry.
Oh, those are really good.
Probably like a whole box of them in one sitting. They're so good.
Those are really good.
And see, I go through phases other than Lunchables where any sort of like granola bar or something, I get over that real quick. I love snacks that are cold, and so that's why I love the cheese option, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Hummus and carrots and stuff. I love that, but you get over that after a couple weeks of eating that.
Lord, I'm also on the Brent Martineau train of the Uncrustables right now.
Oh, okay, very nice.
Uncrustables, that's where it's at.
Very nice. So, have you decided when you're doing the TB12 diet?
It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. We should just stop making bets on the show.
I have not set a date yet, but week 1 of the NFL season is still far in the distance. So
you have.
So it's the regular season now.
You have,
or not preseason.
That's what we played now. Week 1 of the season.
If we do a bet this year, I'm making all y'all sign a contract, and we're gonna have all kinds of terms and conditions in this contract. Probably 10 addendums.
I would have happily done this bet. I just would have had to wait until after.
Oh yeah, that's
I gave
true.
birth, but I said I would happily do that easily.
Yeah, if I had lost, I remember saying that I would have done it because I was about to go to Puerto Rico.
Right.
So I wanted to get in bathing suit shape before Puerto Rico. But as it turns out, thank you Eagles for beating the Patriots. By the way, last night I went to the Jumbo Shrimp game. Absolutely fantastic, family-friendly environment, beautiful weather. Saw a guy propose to his girlfriend. They were playing one of those games where you get to either keep the 4 tickets that they offer you, or there's 2 tables with boxes on the tables, a large box and a smaller box. So you get to select, if you don't want to keep the tickets, then you get to select which one of the boxes do you pick from. So she says right away, not taking the tickets, going for a bigger item, and they ask, do you want the larger box? She says no. Smaller box? She says yes. Pulls open the smaller box, there's the diamond ring in the box, gets down on one knee, proposes.
See, that's really sweet and creative.
It was really cute. What if she had picked the bigger box?
Probably she gets 2 gifts.
Maybe it would have been a banana.
The bigger box, by the way, was a white, boot, plastic boot, but rubber boot. What would they have done though? How would they have orchestrated it if she picked the bigger box?
Then she gets 2 gifts.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see.
They definitely wouldn't have just walked away with her not getting the ring. They weren't.
No, but I mean,
unless there was a
wonder
ring
if-
inside the boot, and so he had 2 rings.
Yeah, was there like a backup plan? Like hit her upside the head with the boot,
Right.
so she forgets that she picked the boot, and then we'll get it was absolutely
Don't boot me out of this
one of the
relationship.
cutest things I've ever seen. I really loved it. All right, that is going to do it for us this Tuesday evening. Remember, my friends at Bold City Health, if you have any sort of health issues, or if you just want to do preventative health, check them out at boldcityhealth.com. This has been Helmets and Heels, built to you by Dream Finders Homes. For Donna Murphy and Blythe Brumley, I'm Lauren Brooks. Thanks so much to Tyler Devitt back in the fold tonight. But stay tuned for Hacker After Dark with Andrew Gibson. That's next on 1010XL.
Bye, guys. We'll be back here next Tuesday, 7 to 9 p.m. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. You'll get a little notification every time we go live. Thank you. Go Jags.